Ms. Spears here. Mr. Bennett.
Here.
Mr. Brown.
Here.
Mr. Chauncey.
Here.
Mr. Custer.
Here.
Mr. Johnston.
Here.
Ms. Lugo. Here. Mr. Sikorsky.
Here.
Mr. Valesky.
Here. Pledge of Allegiance, please rise. Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please stay standing. We have the moment of silence. Okay, thank you.
I'd like to ask for approval of the minutes from 3 board meetings as listed.
Second. There's a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same. Motion carried.
Do we have any of our student representatives here this evening? Want to come on up?
Hello, my name is Audrey Bullock, Editor-in-Chief of CSH's Pitchfork, and I'm here to update you on what is happening in Cambridge Springs. Starting off with news from the elementary school. Cambridge Elementary is excited to announce that Mrs. Ferris and all the 4th grade students are once again completing a service learning project, Daffodil Days, in support of the American Cancer Society. The link to purchase daffodils was sent out on the school's Class Dojo school story, as well as their Facebook page. Supporters have the opportunity to purchase student-made, fresh-cut, and potted daffodils. In addition, this year, the American Cancer Society is offering an opportunity to purchase tulips for faculty or staff members in the building, with all proceeds benefiting the American Cancer Society. Now for news from the high school. In November, 9 students traveled to Penn State Barron to compete in the regional journalism competition. Congratulations to our single advanced to states, Kaylin Astor, in the category of literary magazine poetry. She will travel to Penn State main campus in April to represent the Pitchfork at the state level. In December, we hit our bag 3-ton goal. The elementary school was able to donate 1,400 pounds, which tremendously helped us reach the goal. We couldn't have done it without them. In total, bag 3-ton brought in 7,014.94 pounds of donations. Thank you to everyone who donated and who helped distribute the food. Our winter sports teams have had fabulous starts to their season. The boys basketball team recently beat Maplewood at home. The girls basketball team is currently playing Cockerton, which is sure to be an exciting matchup. The boys wrestlers celebrated their senior night last night, and the girls wrestlers have been placing fantastically at their tournaments. CSHS senior Danica Escalante recently signed her commitment to play soccer at Teal College. Congratulations to Danica. Currently, the Pitchfork staff is working on their 5th edition. On the table in front of you is a copy of our holiday edition. We are also constantly updating Cambridge Speaks social media, so make sure to check out those if you have the time. We really appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any other student representatives out there this evening? I think I see any. Ms. Miller, PAEA representative.
Good evening. I am Debbie Miller, President of the PENNCREST Area Education Association, which represents the 217 teachers and educational specialists in our Sagertown, Maplewood, and Cambridge Springs schools. You may recall from my statement at the last board meeting that our members are experienced educators. 77% have taught in the district for 10 years or more. They are dedicated to this district. 60% are PENNCREST residents with children or grandchildren in our schools, and 40% went to PENNCREST, schools themselves. When we say in PENNCREST we are family, that's true. But wait, was Sister Sledge wrong when they wrote the song? Is our family in need of a reunion? In addition to your teachers being an experienced and dedicated part of the family, we must also add another adjective to their description. Our members are frustrated and uneasy. Frustrated that we have been without a new contract for a year and a half, despite 2 years of negotiations. Maybe worse, they are uneasy when they have seen 17 of their peers in the district leave for better opportunities elsewhere. Uneasy when they wonder if a replacement can be found in these unprecedented times of teacher shortages. We show our dedication to our students' success day in and day out. We are there for our students in the moments both large and small. We celebrate our students' achievements with them and show them the road to improvement when they fall short of their goals. We show our families and communities our commitment too, by being at all the concerts, games, competitions, you name it, by organizing food drives. Cambridge Springs attendance area, as Audrey mentioned, over 3 tons of food since 1981-82 school year. They've been doing that. We shop local. We buy our gasoline down the street, eat at any number of great restaurants in our communities. We are invested. That's what we do every day for PENNCREST students and our community. What we ask in exchange is that the board mirror our devotion and support us in succeeding. We ask the board to show their dedication with their voice, their presence, their listening, and their votes. Prove you are a trusted member of this PENNCREST family. Join us by supporting a fair contract settlement that proves your word is true and you are committed to the family. In Titus 1:16, it warns us. Some say they know God and are righteous, but their actions speak louder than their words. All of us, us and the board, the administration, the community, must have our actions match our words. Thank you.
We have registered citizen comments. If you could please come to the podium, give your name and township residence. Registered citizens have 5 minutes.
Good evening to all. Mr. President, I'm here to address the administration proposed purchase of the electronic equipment. Can you hear me? First, I want to bring to the attention of the board that the law requirement when the district goes for procurement of equipment. In Pennsylvania, purchase below 12,000 square required no formal bidding. Purchase over $2,500 required formal bidding. Unless, and I quote the law, unless only a single contractor is capable of providing the supply. As per Title 62, Pennsylvania Consolidated Statutes, Section 515. The proposal is to purchase MacBooks and iPads. What is important to understand that MacBooks and iPads are made solely by Apple, and does not mean that Apple is the only manufacturer that can supply laptops and tablets. Yes, laptops and tablets are the equivalent of MacBooks and iPads. If any of the board members want to check this out, a simple search for Apple laptops and tablets will confirm what I just said. I do not believe that PENNCREST owns any Apple stocks, but even if it did, it would be illegal not to bid for laptops and tablets. Now let's go to specifics. The administration is proposing to spend $3,737.50. I don't want to forget the 50 cents. To purchase MacBooks and iPads for teachers, specifically for teachers. My first question is why? And why do teachers need both laptops and iPads? As taxpayers have the right to know if the Education Committee reviewed the request and found feasible justification for this purchase. For example, with the purchase of computers, such as laptops and for teachers, help with the education of our students, will the district finally be able to pull the district ranking out of the bottom of 50% in the state? Despite all the money the district has allocated for electronic equipment and personnel, the district ranking is not improved at all. I must remind the board, Mr. President, to keep in mind that the education of the students and to ensure the taxpayer money is well spent. I think it's best that the board to get more information regarding the purchase and have Education Committee investigate the why before this board votes on that. And that concluded my comments, Mr. President. Thank you.
Do we have any non-registered citizens that would like to speak on agenda items? Hearing none, we'll move on. Education report. Item 6A, the district received notification from the Department of Education that our special education program has successfully met all the qualifications that are required of school districts for special education. I'd like to thank Ms. Feely publicly as our Director of Student Services, as well as our multiple teachers within the special education department and our teachers overall that teach all students within the district. Item 6B, request approval. The Board of School Directors approve the student athletic travel as listed for baseball.
So moved.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Same. Motion carried.
Request approval to PENNCREST Board of School Directors approve the attached 23-24-339 plan as required by PDE.
So moved. Second. We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Same. Motion carried.
Request the PENNCREST Board of School Directors approve the attached agreement for 3 AT&T hotspots for students.
So moved.
Second. Motion and a second. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Same. Motion carried.
Request approval of PENNCREST Board of School Directors approve the attached resource materials in accordance with policy 109, the Sherlock Holmes Act.
So moved.
Second. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same. Motion carried.
Request the PENNCREST Board of School Directors approve the following resources and materials in accordance with policy 109, the Agricultural Awareness Act, Agricultural Awareness Crate, donated to Maplewood Elementary School at no cost.
So moved.
Second. Motion and a second. Any comments or questions?
Yeah, I would like to thank Mr. Waddell for donating that. It's just another show our community support that we have. So thanks to Rob and Chris.
Any other comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Any opposed, same. Motion carried.
Resolved that the PENNCREST Board of School Directors approve the attached MacBook and iPad quote as listed.
So moved.
Second.
Comments or questions?
I'll comment on this. I'm going to be opposed to this. Our financial state is not great at this time. We have a lot of costs coming up in the future, in the very near future. When a contract is negotiated, we'll need to pay for that. There's many things we're going to need to pay for in the near future. I'd be in favor of getting one or the other, preferably MacBooks, but I won't approve getting both. We just don't have money to keep spending like this. It has to stop at some point. And I don't think we need both of them. Most surrounding districts do not have two devices. So I know I'll be accused of being a teacher hater for this, but it's for, I believe it's for the preservation of PENNCREST, to be fiscally responsible.
I have a comment to make, and I hear what you're saying, David, but I professionally disagree. We heard from Amanda Monday, and we had a data breach, and that data breach cost us quite a bit of money. It was a headache. I couldn't get into my stuff. We had to do paper. We have a two-step authentication factor that I can't remember what it's called, Amanda. MH something. And it's very important that, you know, Russia, China, I don't know, somebody sitting in the room trying to hack into various, you know, things, they're kept out, and our information is kept confidential. And I think we talk about kicking the can down the road. The can's already left. We already had a breach. And if we don't approve this, you're probably going to have another breach. It's just part of the technology of what's happening today. It's 2024. We don't have hoverboards yet. Well, maybe we do. But anyway, we need a technology to secure the district and to make sure that the technology is there to teach our children. That's why we're here.
Yeah, I'll make a comment as well. Thank you. I agree. We should be watchdogs with every penny that's spent, and we have a lot in front of us here with this technology. But I do have a question. Is there an administrator in the audience that can answer? Do we have a principal? Do you mind coming to the board? Can I ask you a question about evaluations of teachers? Sure. If you were to walk into a classroom and a teacher was tied to their desk, tethered to their laptop, all the time, whether they're doing a virtual tour or controlling the apps of the students, and you consistently walked in and they were at their desk tethered to their laptop, how would you evaluate that?
I think you brought it up Monday. Good classroom management and practice is moving around. You know, the teacher moving around the students for a number of reasons, you know, so that they're able to monitor the kids and help quickly, and also to keep the kids on task. You know, that close proximity of the teacher to the student, they're naturally going to be on task more because they never know when their teacher is going to come up behind them. But also it's a more engaging way of teaching, to be up and around and having that iPad. Also with our 3rd graders through 12th graders having one-to-one iPad access, as a teacher you're going to want to have what the students have, because it's very difficult to roll out something to your students if you don't know how it works yourself. So with a lot of our textbooks and programs like Schoology being on the iPad, everything operates differently on a laptop versus an iPad. So for a teacher, it's going to be really important to see that what a student is going to see, so you can troubleshoot and be able to help them before the students bring it up on their own.
I would see the same thing in my experience. The second point regarding the iPads is there's so many programs that are controlled from that iPad that I know teachers screencast, and like you said, they're moving around there. If we were in a table like this as students, the teacher would be able to monitor by walking around over our backs and seeing what we're doing. I also, as a parent, enjoy the iPads on teachers' hands because they post a lot of pictures and a lot of information. I think 3-4 times a day I see my children in their classroom setting and the assignments that they're working on, because it's simple as look at what your child's doing. And sometimes they're even holding it up because they know the picture's coming to me. And that's just great that I can almost interact with my child throughout the day. I know it is an expense, and it seems perhaps having 2 devices, but I believe Amanda mentioned the 2 devices is necessary for security. Did I? Okay.
It's the more preferred way for a better authentication experience because, again, I mean, there is stuff, if you look at the news, there are articles posted daily. I believe there was something posted yesterday that someone hacked a Twitter account and they said MFA was not enabled. Had this been enabled, it could have been prevented.
Okay.
So, I mean, but really the typical use is that you have, again, it stands for multi-factor authentication. It's more than one way to authenticate into a program. So if I get your password, I can get in, but if you're getting a message to your phone or another device and I don't have that device, there's less likely that I can compromise your account.
Thanks. I also have a few quotes from teachers about how they use their iPad daily. I use the iPad to graph and display equations for my students. I use the iPad for PE to play fitness tests and provide workouts and videos online. I need the iPad to see what my students see. That's a big one. You want to make sure you can monitor what they're doing. I use it for AirPlay and screencast, and I can still monitor and actively monitor my students in the front and in the back of the class. I just want to give our teachers whatever it needs to be successful, because I know if the teacher is successful, my kids are going to be successful and our students will be successful. So I'm going to vote for this.
I would have to say that I'm going to vote no on this. And the reason would be, has anybody seen our deficit of $2 million? I mean, we need to be fiscally responsible. And I agree with everything you're saying about the iPad. I don't understand why everybody decided to go with Apple. Apple is some of the most expensive IT out in the market. Haven't we tried any other that are lower?
Yes, this is one of them and it failed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it just fails. The kids are too hard on it.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're playing games most of the time, right?
No.
That's what I've heard. But
no, if you drop...
I would say okay for the iPads, because we've heard everything about the iPads, but I'm not convinced of the MacBook 2. So if we can come somewhere in the middle in this, maybe table this until we find out what our budget is, because we don't, we just got the money, and find out if it's more responsible to just do one or the other. So I would go to table.
Amanda set the budget.
This doesn't change the budget at all.
This was already budgeted.
Kristen's right here, she can comment on the budget, and we were
Right.
told that it didn't
There's no
affect the
change to
budget.
the budget.
I know that, but just because there's no change to the budget doesn't mean we're being fiscally responsible.
Okay.
You took $390,000 and put it to the $2 million that we're in debt.
Okay, we'll have this conversation again in a couple minutes when the solicitor comes up then too, but what I'm gonna say is, we're not trying to match up with other districts and do less. If our teachers need it to run the classroom, our students need it. We need to see that it happens.
I won't argue that they wouldn't be useful. I agree that they could be used in the classroom and that there could be benefits to them. However, we are not a wealthy district by any means. Our district is filled with lots of farmers, landowners that pay property taxes. Taking that into consideration, I don't think that it's necessary for two. Crawford Central has FMA. They use cell phones or whatever to get the codes for verification. I don't think that we have to have two district-owned pieces.
So who supplies a cell phone for them to use?
They have cell phones.
So we're asking our teachers to use their own personal devices.
I mean, I wear my own shoes to work. Like, if you care, yeah.
Okay.
That, if it comes to that, then obviously it's not caring.
No, what I'm saying is, well, I'm not going to argue with you. She said the reason why, and every time we say, well, other school districts are doing this, and you like to compare us to a private school, which we're not a private school, we're a lot bigger. cover a lot more area, have a lot more diverse student body. But just because Meadville doesn't do it doesn't mean that they're not going to be in trouble for not doing it. Now, if we don't do it, what do we give her to change for our cybersecurity? Because if we don't do it this way, our cybersecurity is no good, and she has to redo that. So are we going to give her the money to redo what she has to for our cybersecurity?
You could still have MFA through cell phones.
We don't have cell service in Maple.
And I know teachers that don't have cell service.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you do? There's nothing out there.
I mean, couldn't you do it through Wi-Fi?
If they don't have a cell phone, I can't make them use something they don't own.
Yeah. See, every other district does it fine.
Some of the teachers don't have cell phones either.
I promise.
I can say,
The other thing, I did get it priced out at one point to get MFA through like just a little dongle or another device. It would have cost the district 60 grand a year, and that was the only function of that device. If you divide out what you're paying for iPads, it's $25,000 a year, and it's a classroom asset to the teachers as well. Plus, we use it for MFA. So at the time when we had MFA, the requirement of rolling it out, we had the iPads in use. So really, we rolled out MFA for free for the district.
one of the things that I will say, having employees and doing the multi-level, multi-factor, I can't ever say it right, Amanda, I'm so sorry, MFA. I know that a lot of my employees have been working for the company that I work for years. They don't have smartphones, they have a flip phone, and they don't know how to use it. So I get it. If we want them to use the resources to be successful in the district, we need as a district to provide that. That's the district's role. And as a board member and a parent, it's important that my students and your students, our students, have access to that. And there's no additional cost to the budget already. This is, I know Amanda mentioned we have the trade-ins that would be coming because the value of the old ones can be traded in. So I'm not even sure what the issue is here. We want what's best for our kids. That's what a lot of us ran on, and now we're saying no. I don't understand.
If we're trying, and I appreciate, trying to be conservative and save money, but this is the classroom and it's student success and it's teacher success. We can save money, things that are outside the classroom. There are many things in the budget that do not touch student success at all. Some of which are on the agenda tonight. They do not touch student success or teacher success. These do. They impact the students, they impact the classrooms. I can tell you exactly that if you are not able to monitor the classroom, there will be kids not doing their assignments. It's that simple. It is that, put yourself in a classroom. If you could have a teacher monitoring us, walking around right now versus way over there in the corner. There are things in the budget that can be cut, and I would love to look at that and be a watchdog over the budget. But I don't want to cut things for the classroom, for the students, and for the teachers. There are items in the budget that are not relative to student success. Zero of them. And we can look at those, Mr. Custard. I'd love to look at those with you. But this is one that is directly in the classroom. It's in the hands of the teachers and the students.
Yes, but the MacBooks, I haven't heard anything yet to tell me the benefit of the MacBook other than the security. But if we already went through a breach and we fixed that, why do we have to have the two to make the security work better? I understand, and I agree with monitoring the teacher, the students, and having the iPad, as you said, going around. But in our current fiscal situation, I would just be on the conservative side. Okay, let's improve your school. Have an iPad in there so you can do all the things you've been talking about. I agree with that. But at this time in our budgeting, we just don't have it with $2 million in debt. Can't we just come up with a different offer here with just the iPad?
What was the price differential between the two? We mentioned it Monday, and we joked because I couldn't hear you.
So right now, we have set in our budget, I've been paying on a lease for the current MacBooks was $80,000 a year. While $359,000 might seem like a lot because it's one price tag that is split up over 4 years. I chose to go with a 4-year over 5-year because that'll be $90,000 a year instead of $80,000, and we pay 0% interest, saving the district $20,000 by not having to pay interest on stretching it to 5 years. I have money in my budget to make up for that $10,000 for hardware, so I figured it would make more sense to do it in a 4-year time frame, save the district the interest money because our teachers need laptops to work. Plus, the classroom infrastructure is already set for AirPlay, for iPads, for iMacs. You're talking about an entire reorganization if we went to like a new platform. We'd have to train our teachers. We'd have to train our students. There would be a huge investment involved moving away from Apple. Trust me, when I first came into the district, I thought about it too. Before, I was like, man, Apple's very expensive, but I have been proven in my 3 years here that it is a superior product, and our teachers use it well.
I did see a lot of iCloud comments from both the MacBook and the iPad on the teacher comments.
And I mean, just so you guys know, I've been here 3 years. I think I've reduced my budget $300,000, I think, close to that, and have probably recycled enough technology. It was about $500,000. And I've dumped it right back into the classrooms and in the schools.
So you were asking what's the difference between the two? According to the equipment information statement, the 15-inch MacBook, quantity of 250, and they are 1,179 apiece, coming to 294,750. And then the 10-inch iPad, 250, 294 apiece, and that's 73,500. So we would be saving just by doing the iPads at 294,750.
Do you believe that to be correct?
There's certain software that's unable to be run on the iPad for our teachers.
That was going to be my next question. Is all the software compatible with each? So it is different? Okay. So we have different software already purchased?
Yes. We have put an investment. The district has invested over years in Apple, into software, into the classroom setup, the way we have trained teachers.
So I'd just like to say that I agree with Dave, but I also agree with Randy. I mean, I'm not a teacher, but I'm sure it helps. I'm old school, but the technology of today, we can't get away from it, and I do see it help. You know, I've a daughter that's still in the school district when it's out. But I hear a lot of, it's really going to help the teachers and everything, and I agree. But I just hope, I'm for it, but I hope to see that we can get out of the bottom 50 percentile of this state, because if this is going to help our teachers improve our students, then that means our numbers should be rising in the next 2-3 years. Because how long are these good for? 4 years? And then we have to renew them or something, because they go out of date?
Potentially, I mean, at the 4-year mark, you do an evaluation, and what's nice with the setup that I got is they give us a guaranteed buyback price too. Right. So no matter what the condition is, they would buy it back at that price, which is great to have, because the market can vary. And the other thing too, like I mentioned in my email, you see our department right here. But we now have tech integrators, which the district, I don't know, they had them a long time ago, but I think the district did invest in technology without maybe having the right people in place to work with teachers on integrating it correctly. And now we have brought those positions back. So I am absolutely hopeful that we'll be able to even be more creative. And again, sometimes it hurts our teachers not sending them to conferences, having professional development for them to learn other ways and how people are using that technology as well. But
yeah, I just, like I said, I understand it, but I just hope that we see some improvements, because if we don't, then they didn't really help the teacher, in my opinion, to improve our students, and that's what we're here for. So.
Can I ask Ms. Kecker to clarify a little bit on budget with this too as well?
Thank you. So I just want to clarify on the budget topic. So first off, the $2 million deficit, that was the prior year. So this year we actually passed the budget. It was a little under the $600,000 deficit, just to kind of clear that up so it doesn't confuse anybody. Second off, this money is already in the budget. We're spreading it out over the 4 years. There's a guaranteed buyback on this as well that'll go back into our refreshing cycle of this technology, as well as, so whenever we sell these back, we're going to get money, and then that'll go back into this schedule, so it is offset by money. Amanda and I have been working on getting on a technology refresh schedule because we weren't there, rather than just throwing money at tech and then throwing it again. So we're looking to recycle these iPads when there's still life in them, so we get money to help offset future purchases. Just to kind of throw that out there.
And then just academically too as well, these devices will affect over, as Ms. Miller said, over 200 teachers, around 2,500 students in their education. And if you recall earlier in the year, when I believe during one of our education committee programs, we did notice that our high schools got recognized by U.S. News and World Report for being in the top 25th percentile of the state and in the top 30th percentile of the country. We are definitely not where we want to be. We always want to be better. I 100% get that. But in the past 5 years, through our changes in curriculum, through our increased support for teaching staff how to use technology, COVID was kind of helpful for us because we were forced to put everybody into that. Our staff is so much more talented with technology than the day I stepped foot in this district. We have seen tremendous growth, and like I always say, we are not where we need to be. And I bet you if you ask any teacher in this district, they will say the same thing. They say, our kids do great, but we can always do better. And this is just one piece of that, and I get everything, but I just felt I should put my experience out from the curriculum department.
Yeah, I feel the same way as Ryan does. I'm torn. I believe Dave and Brian have a great to save money on the iPad or a MacBook. I'm torn, but I want the teachers to succeed. Obviously, we got Saborski being a teacher. Asked a little wisdom from a couple people, especially my wife. She's like, they shouldn't need 2 of them. But I hear people's comments, it's in the budget. The teachers need it for different reasons. And of course, I guess we're succeeding educationally. So I'll be for it for now. I was torn, I was going to go against it. And if Apple, since you're the source of information and you know what's going on, you seem confident what you're saying, I'll be for it.
I'm going to go ahead and call for the question. We had a motion and a second, a lot of discussion. Roll call vote, please.
One more thing real quick. PENNCREST is not in the lower percentage of the state, where we have gained a lot of ground since I've been on the board. Not because of me, but since I've been on the board. Our staff has done a great job through some tremendous times. Not saying we always agree, because we didn't. Mr. Newman can attest to that. But at the end of the day, I always try to have his back, and I try to be supportive of our teachers. The thing we have to remember is these iPads and stuff that we're going to get or supposedly get, however this vote goes, but what our students are learning today in 3rd grade, 10 years from now, is going to be outdated. If we don't keep up, it's a disservice to our students, plain and simple. Now, what other school districts do, I do not call other school districts to ask them, because they may have one computer. I don't know, don't care. That's the way they do it. But if we have to redesign our setup, if we have to invest in more smart boards, if we have to do other things different, if we have to invest in different apps or software, what we say we just spent anyhow. So I'm not saying that this is the best, and I agree with you, Dave, we have to watch our money, and I agree with you 1,000%. But this isn't something we're throwing on and let's just spend this $397,000 or whatever. This has been budgeted, and Amanda and her team has done a fantastic job of making sure that we have a plan for the next 4 years. So I personally will support this. Thanks.
Ms. Beers? Yes. Mr. Bennett?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes. Yes.
Mr. Chauncey?
Yes.
Mr. Custer?
No.
Mr. Johnston?
No.
Ms. Lugo?
Yes.
Mr. Sikorsky?
Yes.
Mr. Valesky?
No.
6-3. Yeses.
Next item. Resolve PENNCREST Board of School Directors approve the following resources and materials in accordance with Policy 109. This is the guest speaker, Corey Greenwood, paid for by the Hitchcock Memorial Foundation.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any comments or questions?
I don't know if anybody got to get online and check out his little opening on his website, but if you do so, it was amazing, and I really hope we get an invite to attend one of the schools, because just a couple minute blurb, he really got involved and focused on the kids, and it was just tremendous what he did. So I think this would be great for our district.
Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say. Motion carried.
Next item, resolve the PENNCREST Board of School Directors approve the following resources and materials in accordance with Policy 109. 4-H Cooking 101 for the Family Consumer Science classes within the high schools.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say. Motion carried.
Thank you. On to the Facilities Transportation Report. Resolve PENNCREST Board of School Directors approve the attached quote from the Tool Company for the purchase and installation of emergency generator, central plant replacements, and room modifications, ATC replacements, and water softener replacement for Cambridge Springs High School at a cost of $2,102,535 under PDA co-stars.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any comments or questions?
I did receive a lot of emails about this bid and some of the doors and windows and so forth, and make the community aware that this board is planning next week for Tuesday that we'll be touring Cambridge Springs, the campus. According to Kristen, that there's still some bond money, and so I would love, I don't want to be the sole deciders here. I don't want to walk in and be like, we need this and that. I would love to hear some input from teachers, especially administrators, of things they need, because in our short tour, I doubt we'll see everything within the building. So I appreciate your feedback, because you will make me look at certain things and ask questions. So keep sending the emails, and we're going to be in the building Tuesday, right? So.
Yeah, I agree with Ryan. I got a couple emails too. But the more emails we get from everyone on the Cambridge side of it to take a look at, please do, and email any of the board members for that.
I'd just like to say I appreciate this is a start, but we can't always start with the things that look pleasing, or we can't start right away with bathrooms and showers. But this is some of the behind the scenes work that has to be done so we can move on to our priority of doing bathrooms and showers and the rest of the interior. So I believe it's a great start.
Any other comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say. Motion carried.
Resolve PENNCREST Board of School Directors approve the attached quote from AB Specialties with project management by McClure Company for the purchase and installation of windows and door replacements for Cambridge Springs High School and Elementary School at a cost of $1.5 million.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same. Motion carried.
Resolve PENNCREST Board of School Directors approve the list of contracted student transportation drivers.
So moved.
So, have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same. Motion carried.
Resolve the PENNCREST Board of School Directors approve to dispose of old equipment through municipal bid as listed.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions?
When will this go on Muncie bed?
Probably take me about a week or two to get it all offloaded, and then it's usually 2.5 to 3 weeks before it comes down.
Any others? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same. Motion carried.
Okay, resolve that the PENNCREST Board of School Directors approve the repair of the Maplewood Elementary School walk-in pool.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same. Motion carried.
Resolve the PENNCREST Board of School Directors approve the attached treasurer's report.
So moved.
Second.
I think Ryan.
Thank you.
We got a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same. Motion carried.
Resolve the PENNCREST Board of School Directors approve the payment of the attached disbursements as listed.
So moved.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same. Motion carried.
Resolve the PENNCREST Board of School Directors approve the attached budget transfers.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried.
Resolve the PENNCREST Board of School Directors approve the 3 elementary schools to participate with schoolstore.com at no cost to the district.
So moved.
There's a motion and a second. Any comments or questions?
Yes. I just want to talk a little bit about this program in which, let's say I buy a $50 jacket from Walmart online. The district gets 50 cents out of my $50. And as far as the percentage of what is given back to the school, Old Navy 5%, Best Buy 0.5%, 2% from CVS, 3% Kohl's, Macy's, 2% from Shop Disney, Walmart between 1% and 4%. And these are huge businesses. I would prefer what Mr. Staborski talked about Monday, where you buy the cards that are all local businesses. Everybody's talking about supporting local. I would have to say no to this. They get richer and we just get pennies. When we could do like Mr. Staborski said and have the local cards and help local businesses. So I'm going to have to vote no for that.
I just want to make a comment about this. This is not costing the district any money. And voting, I'm going to vote for it because it doesn't cost us any money. I do agree with Randy. I think, you know, as a parent with a child in sports and other extracurricular activities, I help do fundraising too, and we do local things. But as a board and as a district, we can't force parents and teachers and people in our district to buy certain things. Approving this is only just going to get a couple more bucks in our coffers. It's not going to be huge, but it doesn't cost us anything to do. So.
Quite honestly, if a family has to go buy jackets at Walmart for their kids, they're going to go to Walmart. You're not going to get them really go local very often.
The question that I would have is, you said CVS was on there, and because of my health insurance, that's where I have to buy my medications. But how does the school know, or CBS know, that that comes back to the school district? How is that accounted for?
I think you have to.
You have to sign.
You have to register the program.
Okay.
You have to volunteer to sign up for the program.
Yeah, you have to scan this code and stuff.
That would be my concern.
And there's a ID user.
Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same.
No.
Motion carried.
Resolved that the PENNCREST Board of School Directors approve to contract with Park One for the 2023 Act 80 comparison services in the amount of $775.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried.
Recommend approval of the attached sub-grant contracts with Northwest Tri-County IU5 for the 23-24 IDA pass-through grants.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried.
With the board's consent, I'd like to do the personnel report through a consent agenda.
Yep.
Recommend approval of personnel report items A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, as all listed.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried.
Item 10, the calendar. Resolve that the PENNCREST Board of School Directors approve the attached voting meeting dates, times, and locations for 2024 as attached, with one correction. On December 2nd, it was listed. That is a day when the school is not in session because of the Thanksgiving break. We would like to change that date to December 3rd for the reorganization meeting. Everything else listed on that is what we're asking for.
So moved.
Second.
Good first and second. Any comments or questions?
I just have just a simple comment for people, because I've gone to these voting meetings and not known what they were actually voting for. Just go, okay, so moved, second, let's go. But this is where we're moving the meetings from Monday to the following Monday, except when there's holidays, it will move to the Tuesday. So at the work sessions will all be at the district office. And then all the voting meetings will be going around to the district so everybody knows what we're voting for.
And just one other comment, for the people who might be concerned if they don't see a July meeting, we did discuss that we can call a meeting at any time. We have to advertise for, we were told 2 business days, 3 business days. So, you know, if there are things, please bring them to the president, bring them to Mr. Newman, whoever, so we can address them in July if needed.
Any other comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried.
Item 10B, resolve that the PENNCREST Board of School Directors approve that the administration advertise an RFP for legal services for 2024.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any comments or questions?
Mr. Chair, I move to, that we take from the table the motion to seek a solicitor. The reason for that, for me, is the changes that's going on with not only the superintendent and the teacher's contract. We can't be switching up the solicitor. I think the solicitor is, in my opinion, doing a great job, as I told everybody on Monday. And for me, a change for a solicitor would be ridiculous. Izzy costs more money. I have no idea. From the experience that I've tried to study the last 2 weeks with lawyers, you can't get it right and wrong of what is going on with the cost. But from when I did my research, he's charging us $190 per hour, and I'm getting a flux between $325 and I guess Ryan said $130. So for me, I will spend the money on a solicitor. I think he's very important for what's going on, especially with board meetings and other things. We went over Monday what he's done to give us money through the Jewel Act, and I think Altria, is that what the other one was? But yeah, for me, I stand on this these lawyers, I trust them from the 6 months I was on the board, and I would vote, yeah.
Like, just on the RFP, that's going to come up in the next one.
So we need to vote on the RFP first.
We're just voting on the RFP.
Yeah.
Any questions out
Any
there?
other questions?
So I would, I'm happy this evening because I feel like we've gotten out of our caucuses and we've started to listen and stop trying to be understood, but trying to understand. And in that spirit, I agree with continuity is important. And I did reach out to a few other districts, and the prices are very comparable with the lawyer that we have. And the jewel case, I mean, a lot of districts got money for the jewel case. And we got money as well. Some got more, some got less, some got with other law firms, some got with our law firm. So in the spirit of really listening, the continuity thing is what holds to me, is that we need to have continuity because we're always backstepping and going backwards, and then we got to re-explain. And to me, the cost-benefit analysis was not that much, because I saw numbers around 160, 170, we're at 190. But I've also learned that two things can be right at the same time. We can all have our reasons as to why we think we're right, but we both can be right at the same time. It is possible to have an RFP out and hire this solicitor. This isn't a contract. I believe he spoke Monday about that. It's an appointment. We can appoint him right now this evening and still have an RFP in case if someone does come in extraordinarily low and local. But if everyone comes in at 160-ish, 170-ish, I don't see the need to make a change. But I think an RFP will at least still be transparent, and it'll show the community that we've done our due diligence. I don't believe an RFP is going to cost much time and money and energy. It could save us some. I mean, what if someone does come in at 125? Then we can have that conversation in May or June or maybe July 1 at the beginning of the fiscal year. So two things can be right here, and I appreciate this evening, especially with the iPads in the school store, that we've kind of broken out of our caucuses, and we're not allowing the past and the campaign and comments that we're like in these minority and majority groups anymore. And so I appreciate that, and I hear you, and I heard you Monday, that continuity is important. But I think we can also put out an RFP, so we could vote for this and this solicitor this evening. It's not one or the other.
And I would just second or agree with what Randy's saying. There is something to be said about continuity. And as I mentioned Monday night, I'm not opposed to staying, but I'm also wanting to see what's out there. They're both right. It's like, that comic where you have the number 9, and the person looking at it is on this way it's a 9, and it's a 6 from the other way. It's the same pattern. As Jordan mentioned on Monday night, he was on the call, he said the board appoints and releases the attorney at their pleasure. That's what the contract or the letter of engagement says. So we can appoint him tonight, but we can also RFP. We don't necessarily have to take the RFPs, but we can look at it, and then we can show, be transparent with the public, with our district, to say we did due diligence. We are going to appoint an attorney, but we did due diligence. And whether we take action on the RFP, I don't know, because we didn't do it yet. But I think it's important that we show this district that we're working toward continuity, we're working toward fiscal responsibility, and you can have both at the same time.
My concern is just that we just did the RFP 8 or 9 months ago, and I don't think we're going to see much of a change in anything. Like, I'm very happy with this law firm. Like, I'm not really interested in looking for another one if they're comparable and doing a good job. So I just don't see that we're going to get any different results on an RFP now versus a few months ago.
Okay, my comment would be then, I think we need to. There's a lot of new faces at this table. We're going to have new leadership here soon. I agree with everybody. I agree Randy and Teresa both had some great points about staying with someone who knows us, but let's be real, it was 8 months ago that we hired him. It wasn't 5 years ago. And there was a discussion had here Monday night that, maybe we didn't solicit, I don't know if that's right where we didn't solicit all the firms in the area when this happened 8 months ago. And the people in the audience, the people that are watching us on TV, they're watching us. And I agree with Teresa, there's no reason we can't do both. You know, it's not Jordan's fault, it's not this law firm's fault that they're caught in the middle of this, but the board looks a lot different than it did 8 months ago, 2 months ago. So I think we need to see who else is willing to work with us, and if that means no one, then that's fine.
I'm going to ask Ken to expound on that because there was some talk about underhandedness with the last RFP, and it wasn't up to a board member. I believe you took care of the RFP.
I had to submit an advertisement to 2 legal journals, and they were to contact me for the RFP. I received no phone calls.
So it did go out to Erie County law firms, Crawford County law firms, and she got no response. And then the last response, I think you had, what, 2 or 3?
I think Dr. Glasspool had received a few letters from a couple.
And when we had that meeting, that's when the only King law firm showed up, and that's why we only had the one to vote for. So just wanted to clarify that.
Mr. President, I think that you're all right. Continuity is so important. If our students have a different teacher every 4 months or so, is that continuity for the students? Is it good for the students? How many solicitors have we had in the last number of years? 4, 3, 4?
Well, we had one until he died.
One till he died, right?
He didn't quit, so.
Okay, but still, in continuity, I'm not interested in an RFP because I hope that it's going to be the same result as last time with putting all this time out, trying to send the letters out and receiving nothing. And I hate to say the fact that the history of this board, not this board, but of what's been put into the press, about what people have seen happening at PENNCREST, it's very important for continuity. I mean, I was looking up a proverb from 1539, and it said, "Better the devil I know than the devil I don't know." So I would prefer not to do the RFP and just bring them in.
I'm going to go ahead and call for the question because we hashed this out on one day quite a bit and tonight as well. Roll call, please.
Ms. Spears?
Yes.
Can you clarify the motion again?
This is
For the RFP.
do an RFP for the solicitor.
Still yes.
Okay. Mr. Bennett?
No.
Mr. Brown?
Yeah.
Mr. Chaucer? Mr. Custer?
No.
Mr. Johnston?
No.
Ms. Lugo?
Yes.
Mr. Staborski?
Yes.
Mr. Gillespie?
No.
4 yeses, 5 noes. Noes given.
Item C, on 12/7/2023, during the reorganization meeting, there was a tabled motion to appoint the solicitor. Would the board like to address that?
Mike, it's your turn.
Oh, okay.
It's your turn. This is when you've been waiting to say since Monday night.
Since Monday.
I think I'm still new at this. Yeah, I move we take from the table the motion to seek a solicitor.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same.
No.
Just one no? Just want to make sure.
No.
2 noes?
So that motion has been put back up on the table, so it is that resolved that the PENNCREST Board of School Directors approve the attached engagement letter for 2024 Dale McCandless King Coulter Graham LLP as solicitor at a rate of $190 per hour for all hourly work performed by attorneys Services for bond or other borrowing are to be negotiated at the time of commencement.
So moved.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same.
No.
No. 2 noes? 3 noes?
No, I
Yes?
said no.
Okay,
No, I was just pointing to.
okay. Just want to make sure.
All right,
7-2.
Item E, resolve PENNCREST Board of School Directors approve the attached board motion for the Crawford County Current Tech Center to purchase property.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried.
Okay, the announcements. Board met in executive session on January 8th and 11th, 2024 for legal, personnel, negotiations, and for the consideration of purchase of real property. Item B, district announcements. The district has, or the board has decided to change the format a little bit and remove the board member comments from the end of the meeting to do one consolidated comment session, which I will read here from the board. The PENNCREST School District is very proud of our students, staff's achievements, and efforts. The following items are just a sampling of the many great things that help to make PENNCREST a positive educational community. Please visit each school's website or official social media sites for updates and happenings throughout our district community. Mrs. Frazier from Maplewood Elementary School has been selected as a professional presenter at Pennsylvania's PENC conference. Mrs. Frazier will have the opportunity to attend for free and bring additional knowledge and resources back to the classrooms in PENNCREST. Multiple PENNCREST students have participated and presented at the 108th Pennsylvania Farm Show being held this week, Saturday, January 6th through January 13th at the Farm Show Complex in Harrisburg. From Cambridge Springs Schools, Mackenzie Fleet participated in square dancing. Owen, Adriana, and Elena Webster actively supports PENNCREST sharing their agricultural knowledge, skills, and animals in addition to attending this farm show annually. They have participated in the Title I Family Expo as well. Recently, Owen did an outstanding job representing himself, his school, and our community at the show, placing first in class with his homeborn face. Also, Owen earned Reserve Showman in his division and Reserve Overall Showman recognition at the farm show. Earlier this fall, from Cambridge Springs Elementary, Olivia Gordon, a third grader, with her pony Squeak, had an outstanding showing at the PA Farm Show. This was her first being old enough to show for 4-H and was thrilled to earn Champion of Barrel Races. She impressed the judges with a time of 19.9 seconds around the barrels. From Sagertown Schools, Emma Kennerneck received the Youth Representative Excellence and Service Award from the Pennsylvania Secretary of Agriculture prior to the opening ceremony of the PA Farm Show. Emma also won Best in Show at the PA State Farm Show for her rabbit. She's also representing Pennsylvania as the 2023 Pennsylvania Rabbit Queen. Please visit our school's websites and official social media sites for these items and many other great things that are happening within our schools with our teachers and our students. Thank you. Next on the agenda, we have citizens' comments. We have registered citizens' comments on non-agenda items.
Mr. President, last time I forgot to tell you who I am and where I live, so I'll do that now. My name is Luigi De Francesco, and I'm a resident of Richmond Township and a taxpayer. I'm here to address the solution needed to save Pennsylvania and the United States of America. The greater problem is that our new generation will miss knowing how great and how important our American Republican system is and how valuable the liberty and civil rights are. Unless all school districts in PA will teach American civics in accordance to 24 Pennsylvania Statute 15-1511, which mandates the following. In every elementary, public and private schools established and maintained in this Commonwealth, the following subjects shall be taught in the English language and from English text: history of the United States and of Pennsylvania, civics, including loyalty to the state and the national government, among other subjects, of course. I think I lost my place. I like to explain the meaning of shall. When it appears in the law or a section of, shall means is mandatory. In other words, the school district must teach civics. PENNCREST used to, but for some reason civics was eliminated in this district. The board should be aware that any citizen can file a complaint and mandamus with a court to force the district to reintroduce history in the United States and of Pennsylvania. Civics including loyalty of the state and the national government. Why is it important? Because for the past 3 years we have been bombarded by politicians that we have to save democracy. Democracy? Did we just pledge allegiance to our republic? We didn't pledge allegiance to democracy. It is imperative to bring back civics in the district. PENNCREST has an advantage in that we have a board member that actually is familiar about teaching civics. And actually, it will be a great guidance how to set up the subject again. And believe me, it is a must. If we don't do that, the next generation, this generation will don't know what their own country is all about, and the future generations will be doomed. Just pay attention to what's going on nowadays in this country. And I can say this out of my heart because my family left the one banana republic and came to America with a hope and dreams. But right now it appears that unless we teach our younger what America is all about and not nonsense, this nation's going to pay the price as a whole. And Mr. Taborski, I've appreciated you being here. You and I had a discussion years ago, and I could never figure out why the previous boards never agreed to make sure that civics is taught. And it's mandated by the state, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And that is all I have. Thank you.
Do we have any non-registered citizens? Please state your name and township residence.
Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. My name is Daryl Shields. I am a resident of the Cambridge Springs community. I'm a district employee working in the Sagertown attendance area. I hold a bachelor's degree in, bachelor's of science degree in elementary and special education, a master's degree in elementary school counseling, and a postgraduate K-12 principal certification. In my past 29 years, I've spent 9 years teaching special education, 6 years teaching regular education, 13 years as a school counselor, and 1 year as an assistant principal. Having the privilege to work in 4 of the 6 buildings, I've met many dedicated staff members, teachers, building administrators who call PENNCREST home. I'd like to draw your attention tonight to the fact that PENNCREST is losing amazing educators. An example, I met my wife when I started teaching at Maplewood Elementary School. We've been married for 23 years, and we have a beautiful daughter who graduated from Sagertown and now attends Penn State. Recently, my wife was sent a notification that advertised for an open position at Fort LaBeouf High School. Was she happy in PENNCREST? If you know when, the answer was yes. She graduated from Sagertown High School. She had been working in the district for 26 years, really didn't have any intentions of leaving when this opening presented, but she thought, what would it hurt if I tried to better myself? What was the first thing she did when she got home from that interview? She cried. She cried because she was leaving the students she loved at Cambridge Springs High School. She cried that she was letting Mrs. Coper down, her principal. She had a difficult decision to make, but she did it. She received a wonderful opportunity from a great school district where she'd been offered a very promising contract. If we had a contract here, she probably wouldn't have left. Thank you.
Please state your name, township residence. You have 2 minutes.
Good evening. My name is Claire Smith, and I live in Plum Township, Venango County. I'd like to take a moment to thank you for serving on the school board and giving me the opportunity to speak. I'm a proud parent of 2 Maplewood alumni, a small business owner in Randolph Township, and a current employee of PENNCREST. I have 20 years of teaching experience in the district as a learning support teacher at Maplewood Junior Senior High School. I also hold teaching certifications in mid-level language arts and mathematics. I was inspired to become a teacher in my junior high school years when Kristen McAuliffe was selected as the teacher to join the Space Shuttle Challenger mission. Unfortunately, that mission was not a success, but her inspirational words stayed with me. I touch the future, I teach. I'm blessed to live and work in this community, and I love when I'm able to watch my current students make educational gains and finally obtain their high school diplomas. It's always a joy to see former students as adults in the community and hear about their successes and celebrations beyond high school. Once again, my name is Claire Smith. I have 20 years of teaching experience with the school districts, and I've been teaching without a contract for 500 days. Thank you.
Good evening, and thank you for this opportunity. My name is Tina Walsh, and I live in the borough of Cambridge Springs. I am also a current employee of the PENNCREST School District within the Cambridge Springs attendance area. I am privileged and honored, and God, do I love my job. I am an art teacher at Cambridge Springs Elementary School, and there isn't a kid alive that doesn't love art. I hold a bachelor's degree in art education with a minor in art history. I have 14 years of teaching experience only in this district. I started my career at Sagertown Elementary in 2010, and I was furloughed to a part-time art teacher my second year. Fortunately for me, in the fall of 2012, the Cambridge Springs Elementary art teacher retired, and I was restored to a full-time art position at Cambridge Springs Elementary, where I have been ever since. During my time at Cambridge Springs Elementary, I have helped oversee a multi-million-dollar federal grant that ran in PENNCREST from September of 2010 to July of 2014, called Art in Action, that studied the effect of integrating art into the regular classroom and what effect it had on PSSA testing scores. I have also collaborated with the Erie Art Museum, participating in their Kids as Curators program with our students, giving them the opportunity to curate an art show around objects that they had collected. I volunteer on a regular basis with our PTO. I have served as an advisor to our high school teams competition, and I work after school hours with students overseeing art club opportunities when the time has been approved for me to do so. But as of today, January 1st, 2024, I and my colleagues have been working without a contract for 500 days. Thank you.
Any other non-registered citizens?
Need a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion adjourned.